Howie with PokemonKing.com here. Welcome back to my Wi-Fi channel. I just want to let you know I recorded an introduction for this video, but it got messed up. The audio didn't sync up and a lot of it got erased. So I just want to give you a heads up on what this is. It's an RU battle. It's the first of 3 battles we're going to do with this team. The links to the other battles will be in the description below. And also a link to the team builder if you want to see how I went about putting this team together. So all that information is down there. I want to apologize for being away for so long. School just got busy. I'm a master's student, and it's the end of the semester. I had a bunch of term papers to write, and I had a presentation I had to get ready for. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the battle. It's going to pick up at a weird time, but just kind of jump in and go with it. It's not that bad. I just want to let you know why the beginning of the video isn't what you might expect. So enjoy the battle. Iron would be my guess, a fake out user, and we're going to start with 40 grit with that in mind, because we do have the Rocky helmet and we have the rough skin, so we can get some good chip damage and also set up our stealth drops, hopefully. Also on his team, Jolteon, looking for common weaknesses. I see a common weakness of ice. There is 2. Only 1 fighting weakness. 2 fire weaknesses. Cradily and Whimsicott do not have a lot of synergy. But other than that, his team is actually pretty well balanced, because of course Jolteon only has the 1 weakness. So we're going to confirm and go into the battle. Let me change the display so it's just upper. By the way, guys, I know that you liked the shout box in the previous video. I tried it out once. It takes way too long to edit. So I'm going to switch to something a little more low maintenance. We're not going to have the status indicators either for if Pokemon are fainted, or if Pokemon are fainted, or if they're paralyzed, burnt, whatever. You're not going to see those icons in the video anymore either, just because I want to be able to put out more videos for you, and the more stuff like that I have to do, the longer it takes to upload the videos, and you don't get as many of them. So, clearly, we're going to get faked out here, so we're just going to go over the Stealth Rock. Of course, going to go for the fake out. Does more than I thought it would, actually. We are careful nature, so maybe this wasn't the best switch. Typically, you go with an Impish Druddigon, but we did not in this case. Okay, so he reveals the Life Orb. I was thinking it might be Sash. So that explains the extra damage output. Now the question is, I could go for the... I'm just going to... This is tough, because a frustration might take me out from where I am right now, and I think it would. Because Fake Out hit 60 after Technician Boost, and a 60 base power move did nearly half, so 100 should do enough. Let's just go out into Real Danger. We're going to go out into Real Danger, the Mega Steelix, because really anything outside of a low kick. Well, we can actually... Okay, so he just knocks off. So this is a great switch because he's not going to be able to take off of our Steelixonite, because you can never knock off those types of items. Now, I think that the low kick is coming through. So now I keep switching, but I think that's just how it's going to be. There's going to be a lot of switching in this battle. I got to go into a theory... I can't take the knockoff. Really? Man, for how defensive my team is... Ambipom is actually doing some decent work against me. I think I might just have to go for the Gyro Ball, because I don't... well, low kick. I'm very defensive, but low kick is really going to hurt. Low kick is obvious. I'm just going to go out into more repels, because he is Impish, and he's a Golbat, and he can probably take a low kick well enough. The problem is we're going to have to sacrifice... Or will we? He's getting pretty low. We might be able to keep bouncing around. My fear is he's going to go for the knockoff, and I can't afford to have a knockoff happening on the Golbat. So I'm going to go back out into Real Danger here and hope that he goes for the knockoff. And then I'm just going to go for the Heavy Slam, because at that point I'm going to have him off kilter enough where I think he's going to be a predicting situation, trying to get this thing to do some work before it just dies from the Life Orb damage. So I'm going out on a limb here. I'm really going out on a limb here, but I am just going to go for the Gyro Ball. And the Mega Evolution. And hopefully he did not go for the low kick. The Mega Evolution, of course, looks very cool. I hope you enjoyed that part. Does go for the knockoff. So see, we played some nice mind games there. We were able to get him off balance enough that he over-predicted when we decided to play conservatively. And because of that, we're able to keep the Eviolite on our Golbat. And we also get to keep our Mega Steelix because he doesn't go for the low kick. So that was actually a pretty productive turn on my part. Actually, a series of turns. That was actually pretty well played. Not to pat my own back or anything. Okay, so Whimsicott comes out. And Whimsicott is actually going to be a bit of a issue for my team because it's an annoyer. And Whimsicott hates taking large amounts of damage from high-powered Pokemon, which means that we're going to have issues with it because we just don't have anything that is going to like to take residual damage and taunts. And with the Leech Seed, which we don't have any Grass-type Pokemon, is also going to be a problem. So what should I go out into? I think I'm just going to rest here because I'm not sure what he's going to do. He's not going to taunt, I wouldn't think. So I'm just going to rest to get my health back up to full. And by the time I bring in Mega Steelix again, I can probably have an Aromatherapy from Aromatisse to wake him up so he is at full health and ready to go. Well, almost full health. He'll be at 7/8 health because of the Leech Seed. Now the question is, does he stay in or switch? Either way, it doesn't matter because, I mean, of course we're going to switch. Even though we have Sleep Talk. Well, Gyro Ball would hit really hard. But I am Leech Seeded. I probably should have just Gyro Balled because I think that would have done a lot of damage at the very least. We're going to go out into more Repels though, because we know that the Leech Seed is not coming at this point. The issue here though is this Whimsicott Rock knockoff. He already showed knockoff on one of his Pokemon. I'm just going to go for the Brave Birds and try to break a sub. Okay, so Stun Spore does come through, so we're going to be paralyzed, which is alright. So he shows the Stun Spore, the Leech Seed, and the Substitute already. Okay, so the Paralyze is not alright because we are fully paralyzed. However, it doesn't really matter that much because we're never going to outspeed anything that he does one way or the other. So it's probably just best to stay in. Goes for the Encore. Okay, so he shows no attacking moves, so this Whimsicott is total taunt bait, especially since it does not have taunt itself. And Brave Bird with the Infiltrator does go through the Substitute, which is great news for us. And clearly we're just going to go for that again. Because even after a Leech Seed, it's not going to matter. It does not show the Protect either, which is good. So that means basically this Golbat is going to be a pretty hard counter for that Whimsicott. The Jolteon does come out. It will resist the Brave Bird. But this is okay because we have decent answers for the Jolteon. Now. The question is, what should we go into? Because the Thunderbolt is going to come out. And we don't have anything that actually wants to take a super powerful Thunderbolt. I think something's going to die here, because we don't have anything that's bulky enough to take 2 Thunderbolts from a Jolteon. We don't have anything that can outspeed. The question is, what do we let die? I don't think the answer is more Repels. I forgot to take a picture of my opponent's team, which was a bad move. I'm thinking Ethereal Girl might just have to go, because he has 2 Grass types, I remember, and the Jolteon. Man. Or could Drapion... Drapion might be able to take 2. We're going to switch out into Drapion and hope that it's not a 2-hit KO. No entry hazards on the field. We do have leftovers. And we are a careful nature. A lot of special defense. Okay, so he goes for Hidden Power. So he does not go for the Thunderbolt. So we're going to actually be able to take that especially well. And we're going to be able to set down some toxic spikes. Or we can do a knockoff even. Now let's get down. Layer of toxic spikes might be good. I'm going to put him down. I'm going to put down a layer of toxic spikes. What is he going to go out into though? Okay, so it's the Whimsicott again. And he was probably just trying to sacrifice something here, but now he gets the opportunity to likely paralyze me. I shouldn't mess around is what I should do. I just got to go for the knockoff because I can't risk this Whimsicott hanging around and trolling me for much of the bet. Okay, so he doesn't have enough. He didn't have enough health to make the substitute, but he still went for it anyway. And we don't take him out with the knockoff, which is actually a big surprise. I mean, we don't have a lot of. Let's just go for the toxic spikes again. Should be fine. We're gonna. Okay, so he misses with the paralysis. We're gonna get our second layer of toxic spikes down, and now we're actually gonna have the opportunity to whirlwind, because he'll be dead on the switch in because he'll be poisoned on the switch in, and that'll be the end of the road for him. So I'm just going to go ahead and whirlwind out this Whimsicute and get this poison down on something. And he misses with the Leech Seed. So actually that was a really bad string of luck for my opponent. The substitute, trying to go for the substitute when he did not have enough health to do so was definitely his bad, as the toxic hits Cupcake here, the Slurpuff. But missing the Sunspore and then the Leech Seed as well, that's a bad series of hacks. We're just going to go for the knockoff. Okay, so he goes for the Aromatherapy, which is a good move on his part, because odds are, I'm thinking Belly Drum set on this Slurpuff. And that means, okay, so we knock off the Citrus Berry, so we do actually now know. We do now know that the Slurpuff was the Belly Drum set, because he only uses the Citrus Berry if he has Belly Drum. So we're going to Whirlwind out and hope he goes for the Belly Drum. Just goes for the Drain Punch. Which is neutral because we are ground, we are poison and dark, which is a wash against a fighting type move. Non-stabbed and not boosted does not do very much, even without any defense investment. The Whimsicott does come out, is going to get poisoned. And I think the poison should be enough to take him out right now. Poison is enough to take him out, so that is good news. The question is, what is he going to bring out? Because he showed the... No, he didn't show the He didn't show the Slurpuff. He just got whirlwinded out into the Slurpuff. So I'm not sure what he wants to bring in. I don't think he has a lot of good options against the Drapion. Drapion really trolls his team fairly badly with knockoff. The toxic spikes put a lot of pressure on his team as well. The Cradilly does come out though, and I'm not worried about anything Cradilly can do. However, he might have the rare Suction Cups, which would keep me from whirlwinding him out. I'm just going to go for the Taunt because usually Cradilly likes to use some fruity stuff. Could be a Leech Seed or Stealth Rock or something like that. And I'm not afraid of his attacking moves. Does try to go for the Stealth Rock, so he's not going to be able to get that off. And also, this now hinders his ability to recover off damage if he decided to do that later in the battle. I'm going to go for the knockoff to remove his item, just to further assert my aggressive positioning in this battle. Goes for the Rock Slide, which, is that super effective against poison? It is not, and it is unstabbed, and Cradilly does not have tremendous attack. I don't have any motivation right now to either switch or whirlwind or do anything other than continuing to knock off, because the poison damage is going to only stack up. So if I switch him out with a whirlwind, if I force that, then all that would do would be remove the taunt and also ruin the toxic damage. At this point, I think I have him pretty well against the wall. The Drapion is really becoming a bit of a problem for his team. He's going to go out into something else because he realizes at this point that his Cradilly is just going to stay in and die if it hangs around. Dolly does come out, is going to get Toxicked with the bad poison. The knockoff is not going to do... Wow. Super effective. That does a ton. But we don't remove an item, so we do know it's going to be a Mega Banette. Again, zero motivation for me to switch out regardless of what his attacking moves might be. This would be the best thing I have to take a Will-O-Wisp too. So I'm just going to go for another knockoff. Knocking off all day and all night, man. That's all it is right now. Does evolve into the Mega Banette. And we still outspeed. So that will KO because it's super effective, even though we're not removing an item, and even with the added bulk from the Mega Evolution. So that is the quickest way to dispatch of a Mega Banette. Not that I knew that going in, but hey, it worked out pretty well. So at this point, we're in really good position. For the first battle with this team, it's actually going tremendously well. The idea of this team was to control a match from start to finish, irritate my opponent with pressures such as Taunt, Toxic Spikes, Rough Skin, Paralysis, different types of status, and take control that way. And as you can see, we're in a 6-0 position right now if we can maintain the momentum. Thunderbolt does a lot of damage coming off of the Jolteon. Okay, so we remove the choice specs though, which is good because even if this Toxic does not take him out, which it does not, choice specs is no longer boosting the Thunderbolt, which means I don't think a Thunderbolt can take me out from this range. Thunderbolt does happen, and we hold on with 10 hit points. And what that means is we are still in really good position to come out with our first 6-0 ever on the channel, which would be huge. And it wasn't even a 6-0 sweep. It was just a 6-0 control match, which is actually the way I prefer to play, if at all possible. Cupcake does come back out now. And I'm still a little bit concerned about the Belly Drum, if I'm being honest. So I'm just going to go for the Whirlwind on the off chance that he tries to set up. Because a Belly Drummed Slurpuff could still do a lot of damage to my team. So if he does go for the Belly Drum, we're just going to Whirlwind him out. Does go for the Aromatherapy. And so the Whirlwind is going to swap him out of the field and bring something else in, which is going to be fine. But he does remove the well, it doesn't really matter with the Toxic Spikes because the bad poison is restored every time a Pokemon switches in. We do see that the Cradily comes out, and again, I don't want to risk a recover. So I don't think... I could, like, switch out and try to go for the 6-0, but realistically, it would be quicker to end the match just sacrificing the Drapion. So I will just taunt, just so that he doesn't have the opportunity to recover. And he does go for the Rock Slide, which misses, which, man, I'm just really sorry for how this match has gone for you, because, frankly, it's been nothing but hacks from beginning to end on my part. I do think I controlled this game very well, and I think I would have won anyway, but certainly with all the misses you've had on your near 100% accuracy moves, it's definitely been unfortunate. The Rock Slide comes out, and we live with 4 hit points, so we're still hanging around with Johnny Toxin. And the poison damage at this point will take out the Cradily, so he is down to 1 Pokemon, but it is the Slurpuff. And I'm interested to see, I think at this point he knows his best opportunity perhaps is to set up a Belly Drum sweep. So odds are the Aromatherapy is going to come out first and then the Belly Drum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock off, because I think the combination of the knockoff, the damage from the Belly Drum, and then after he takes out my Drapion and I bring in my Druddigon, 40 Grit, the combination of the Rocky Helmet, and the Rough Skin should take him out from that range. The Belly Drum does come through as expected, and we are not going to be able to take him out with the with our knockoff because we saw how little damage he did the first time. But we do have him so far down now that we can just go out, I believe. Well, the Drain Punch could come through and save his booty. We're just going to go out into Druddigon is what we're going to do. And I'm not sure if Drain Punch recovers damage and then you take the damage from Rough Skin and the Rocky Helmet, or if the Rocky Helmet and the Rough Skin go first, but we're about to find out. Okay, that sucked. That sucked a lot. So we find out that it actually is applied first. So that switch was actually really not advisable. Well, we have to go to the one thing that will stop him from recovering more health, and that's going to be Ethereal Girl. And I'm not sure if we'll be able to take a fairy type attack. So we're just going to go for the Scald here. To play rough. Wow. Okay, so we might actually be in a lot of trouble because I don't think we have anything fast enough to outspeed this thing. However, we do have fabulous... Let me think here. Let me think what we're supposed to do. What are we supposed to do in this situation? The Drain Punch is coming through. This much we know. I think that my best chance is to get the paralysis off of more repels. And he will resist both of his moves really well. He'll resist the fairy type move, and he'll also resist the fighting type move 4 times. So I'm going to need more repels, but I'm going to need him also to be faster than the Slurpuff as well. So we're just going to hope we can survive something here and go for the aromatherapy to get that paralysis off of him. Play Rough does come through, and it's not resisted. Wow. Okay, so we're going to lose our fairy type. I thought it would be resisted, but it is not. So we're going to bring out more repels. I thought we had this thing in the bag. I did not. I really underestimated this Slurpuff, if I'm being honest. I'm hoping that the Play Rough can't take me out from here and the Brave Bird comes through, because I think that's my only chance. Drain Punch does come through. We resist it 4 times. Non-stab does not do hardly any damage at all. Does not do much damage at all. So we get the Brave Bird. Will it be enough to take out Cupcake? Really troublesome. Well played by my opponent. I misread the situation very... Okay, so we didn't get the 6-0 like we anticipated. We did not get the 6-0, but we still came away with the win. The Slurpuff ended up being a big problem. He does get Drain Punch now. I just found out. I did not know he had that, and I think that was recently released. So, thank you so much, by the way, Namvo, for the battle. Like, that was really, really a good battle, and you played it as well as you could. Even though I had you against the ropes the most of the battle, you knew your chance was to set up the belly drum at the end, and I did not see it coming. I didn't think it was going to be as big of a threat. I didn't give it enough credit. So we're not going to save the battle video. Guys, if you like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Watch for, if you are a subscriber, and if you're not really, click the subscribe button and become one. And head over to the giveaway playlist on my channel. All you have to do is find the most recent giveaway video, comment on it if you're a subscriber, and you're entered into a drawing to win awesome prizes. The 1st and 15th of every month, I give away things like copies of Omega Ruby fully loaded, Alpha Sapphire fully loaded, gift cards to the Nintendo eShop, and much, much more. So you're going to want to do that and get a shot at some free stuff every 2 weeks. Aside from that, go ahead and follow all of our social media if you wouldn't mind. I'm on Twitch TV, Twitter, YouTube, of course, and Facebook. All of those links are down below. You can also see them, obviously, in the video. So go ahead and do all that. Until next time, take care. We're 1-0. Let's go for 2-0 in our next video.